I'm Richard Driehaus, and about 13 years ago, I thought it was a good idea to show Chicago fashion to the city and to the world.
It's a student fashion show where I go to the schools and pick 5 designers from each of our 5 schools. These 5 designers are featured in the most amazing fashion production.
It's about giving students a chance to show their ability before they're out in the industry.
To be chosen was just an amazing feeling. It was one of those moments that you've been waiting for your entire life when you finally get that validation that the work that you do is meaningful not only to you but to other people.
For me, to be in the show, it means a huge stepping stone in the right direction because it's telling me that I'm doing something right with my designs. And so it just encourages me to keep on doing it.
When I was picked, I screamed at the top of my lungs. No one was in the room and I almost fainted. I was so excited.
When I found out, I was so excited. I got goosebumps all over my body, which always happens whenever I get really excited about anything.
First I screamed. I was like, I get picked for the Driehaus.
This fashion show is a big step for me as a designer.
This isn't something that's easy, and a lot of designers are doing this because they love it, and it's a struggle every day, you know, not sleeping, not eating, putting everything that I have into something, and then for someone to come along and say, you know what, you're doing the right thing, you know, keep going.
This is something that I can carry on for the rest of my life. I can tell people that I was a part of Driehaus. I get to showcase my best work and go up against the best upcoming designers.
They take the highest quality, they take the best designs, they strive for innovation, and if I was chosen, that means that, you know, I'm doing well and I can only go up from here.
Having my first collection being chosen for the Driehaus, I can't even explain it. I'm too happy, even like I might even feel like crying too because I'm too happy for that.
Okay, can we have the production team over here too, please?
My name's Tracy Tarantino and I am the fashion show producer.
Please use that last walk as a drive-in to the audience.
This year, there is such an array of design and detail that each presentation is a story in itself. And of course, it's a story that comes from their inspiration of dreaming about fashion. And that's what makes this so fresh, is that it's young ideas into the fashion world that have no limitations on them, but to say, what's your fashion statement?
My collection is inspired by the mental illness depression, and so I'm taking 3 inner experiences of someone suffering through it and physicalizing it into 3 different garments.
My collection is inspired by sort of a witch look, this dark magical feeling to it. It's very moody. My collection is called Being Bionic. It creates a new construct for the male figure, incorporating traditional menswear with sportswear and technology.
My collection is Oriental and American style.
My collection, Everything Audrey, is inspired by the costumes worn by Audrey Hepburn in My Fair Lady and Breakfast at Tiffany's. They have a costume-esque flair for the modern woman.
My collection is inspired by traditional Japanese attire. I wanted to convey how the culture is deceptively simple.
My collection is based on ancient Greek mythology. I based the collection on 3 Greek goddesses that were very strong female role models.
The collection is called Skinned. So it's a menswear collection, and it's Scottish Highland warriors meets underground leather club scene.
My collection is called Fantasize. It's a dark, beautiful nightmare that encompasses your darkest fears.
My collection, Adrift, is inspired by sailing and living near water, so it's very sporty and breezy and light.
This collection is a collection of fine outerwear inspired by prints and textures in nature off of the upper east coast of Maine.
My collection was inspired by a deep sea sponge that's called the Venus Flower Basket in Japan, and it's about love and commitment and a softness in your heart.
So my collection is edgy and it's fire desire. It's all about making a statement.
My collection is a mixture of 1950s traditional style and a bit of a 60s flair with a modern-day woman's touch.
This year, there is a multi-visual presentation happening that we've never done before. It has, what I would say, kicked it up a few notches, as they say. This is beyond the notch. This is to the top.
We have, as always, amazing fashion. But this year we focused on the architecture to represent very strong silhouettes.
How we present it is what makes it a night to remember.
So Jen, Rachel, Katie, really stick that pose when you guys hit it, like when you come back to the top.
Yep.
Just nail it.
I'm sure people think that we come out of bottles and blink and everything magically appears for the events that people attend. But there are many, many people behind the scenes, many weeks and months actually of preparation, from the creative and the logistics to the team that's now in place to make the beautiful backdrop that you see for the stage, to put the projection units in, to put the runway down, to get the chairs that the guests will be seated in. In order to have a great event, you have to have food, beverage, decor, and you also have to have an energy. When people walk in the door, they want to know, wow, this is going to be a great night.
This is not just a student fashion show. It doesn't seem like it.
It's more advanced. It's professional. I mean,
Yeah.
it's wonderful. It's the best of Chicago.
This is the real deal. This is a serious event. This is something that I would expect to see in New York or London or Paris.
So many designers that aspire to be in this competition because it's something that pushes your designs. You need to be really professional. Your garments need to be beautiful from the inside and the outside.
What's unique about this show is that there are 25 different designers that are presenting, but they all have the same goal in mind.
So we decided to make it even more exciting by taking what I think is the most commercial and the very best fashion coming down the runway, and we're going to give them the Neiman Marcus Award of Excellence, and we're going to showcase their fashions in the store.
That moment that they take the runway, it's got to be the wow factor. It's got to have the pop. It's got to have the sizzle, and they are the face of the future of fashion.
Welcome to the 13th annual Driehaus Awards for Fashion Excellence.
When people see my designs, I want them to really appreciate the material, architecture, and line.
I want their eyes to be big, I want their mouths to be wide open. I really want to take them by surprise.
When my designs are walking down the runway, I want the audience to feel, I guess, somewhat intimidated and scared by the badass girl gang I've created.
If people are silent, that means they're really, really blown away by what you've done. And that's the best reaction you can ever have.
I want him to say, where can I buy a dress like that? I want that dress.
Are we ready to find out the winners?
It is so difficult to pick a winner because the talent pool is extraordinary.
And now the top winner. This is the $5,000 prize, and that goes to, she's from the Art Institute, School of the Art Institute, Kendall Kennedy.
I'm so excited. Like, I wasn't expecting this. I'm shaking right now.
Everybody nice and close. Here we go. My mouth was open, and it stayed open as I walked to the runway. I just didn't know how to react. Just incredibly happy, incredibly grateful.
I honestly was just so happy when my stuff came out, and the choreography, the music, the looks, everything was perfect.
All of the elements are here to make good on the promise that Richard had for the students' designers, that we will provide you with a professional fashion show to showcase your designs.
Well, look at this talent that we have right here in Chicago. Isn't it amazing?
Richard is a patron saint of fashion, and this is our 13th year of doing this. Without his support, this could have never happened.
I believe in fashion, I believe in design, and I believe in creativity, so I don't look at me as a saint, but I do look at me as being very interested in helping these students get ahead. I want the students to know that they can achieve their dreams.